Rieu had it all. A fortune so huge it could rival rock legends, castles fit for royalty, and sold-out arenas in every corner of the world. But behind all the glittering costumes, flashing lights, and standing ovations, there was a story nobody saw coming. André built an empire worth $40 million from classical music alone, something unheard of even for the biggest pop stars today. But why, then, would this massive fortune someday become the very reason tears rolled down the faces of his closest family? André didn't start out rich. Growing up, he was just a kid who loved music. His dad was the conductor of the Maastricht Symphony Orchestra, so music was always around him, always part of his life. But André knew from early on that he didn't want to sit quietly in a stuffy concert hall. He wanted something bigger, louder, and far more exciting. He wanted crowds to clap, sing, and jump up from their seats. And step by step, André built exactly that. In 1987, André took a huge risk that would either make him a legend or ruin him forever. He founded the Johann Strauss Orchestra, not some small group playing quietly for polite applause, but a full-on, dazzling entertainment powerhouse. What started with just 12 musicians quickly exploded to over 60 performers from every corner of the globe. André didn't just play classical waltzes, he put on shows packed with everything from Strauss classics to the Macarena. And it worked. Fans loved it. Tickets flew off the shelves, and soon he wasn't just filling theaters. He was packing entire arenas and stadiums worldwide. Money poured in faster than anyone expected. By the early 2000s, André wasn't just successful. He was outselling massive acts like AC/DC, Bruce Springsteen, and Coldplay. His shows made millions per night, and his DVDs flew off shelves in every country. Fans traveled thousands of miles, paid huge prices, and cheered like they were at rock concerts. André's empire was booming, and his wealth ballooned dramatically, making him the richest violinist alive. But André didn't keep his wealth hidden quietly in the bank. Instead, he poured money into creating even bigger spectacles. In 2008, he risked almost everything he owned by designing a jaw-dropping $30 million stage for his concert at Schönbrunn Palace in Vienna. It looked like a fairy tale, covered in gold, crystal, and lavish details, exactly what fans dreamed of seeing from André Rieu. But that fairy tale almost cost him everything. The huge cost pushed him to the edge of bankruptcy, nearly wiping out decades of earnings overnight. André had taken risks before, but this one nearly broke him completely. But he refused to quit. Slowly, concert after concert, André climbed back, paying off his debts and turning his shows into even bigger successes. Within a few years, he was richer than ever, bouncing back stronger and smarter. He expanded his concerts into global cinema events, streaming performances in theaters worldwide, making millions more. Fans who couldn't fly to see him live flocked to cinemas, paying premium prices to experience the excitement on the big screen. André's wealth didn't just recover, it doubled and then tripled, reaching a jaw-dropping $40 million by 2023. But André didn't build his fortune alone. His family was there from the start, especially his wife Marjorie, who was much more than just his partner. Marjorie designed the costumes, helped choose venues, and planned the dazzling stage sets that became famous worldwide. Together, they made every show unforgettable, creating an entertainment empire that became a true family business. Their son Pierre even stepped into a major role, becoming vice president of André Rieu Productions, turning the whole operation into something like a musical dynasty. André's shows became legendary, but he never forgot his roots. He lived in Maastricht, in a castle built in 1452. Yes, an actual castle. This was no ordinary mansion. It was the legendary place where D'Artagnan of the Three Musketeers had his final meal before dying in battle. André had dreamt about owning it since childhood, and now he did. He poured millions into renovating every inch, turning it into a dream palace filled with priceless art, sparkling chandeliers, and gardens that belonged in fairy tales. It was like something out of a movie, except André was living it every day. Even with all this wealth, Andre didn't slow down. He kept expanding his concerts, touring non-stop from Europe and America to Australia and Japan. Each year his tours grew larger, his audiences bigger, and his fortune multiplied. He wasn't just a musician anymore, he was a superstar, a global phenomenon whose brand grew into an unstoppable money-making machine. Yet, despite all the glitz and glamour, Andre kept one surprising habit: baking. During the lockdown in 2020, with concerts canceled and millions in ticket sales vanishing overnight, Andre did something unexpected. He started baking cakes, sharing them with neighbors. It wasn't flashy or extravagant, just simple human kindness, a gentle reminder that behind the massive empire was a man who still valued community and simple joys. But there was more to Andre's fortune. Andre's empire depended on him performing non-stop, and when he fell sick in 2010 with a severe ear infection, everything nearly collapsed again. Doctors were stunned he hadn't gotten sick sooner, given how demanding his schedule was. For the first time, his family realized just how fragile this fortune was. Everything they built depended entirely on Andre's health. One illness, one canceled tour, could cost them millions instantly. The pressure was enormous, but Andre recovered and pushed forward, refusing to slow down, determined to keep the music and the money flowing. Yet the stress grew. While fans saw a smiling Andre performing effortlessly behind the scenes, the family struggled with managing an empire worth tens of millions, facing risks nobody knew about. Each spectacular show was a gamble, costing millions in set designs, venues, musicians, and marketing. Any failure could threaten everything. Andre built. Then came another hidden secret. Andre's fortune wasn't just in concerts. Quietly, he'd been building an enormous real estate portfolio, investing millions into luxury properties around Europe. Fans knew about his Maastricht castle, but few realized just how vast his property empire had become. But how did Andre even reach this level of wild success and ambition? Well, unlike most classical groups relying on schools or rich donors, Andre built his orchestra entirely by himself. Back in the late 80s, he had almost nothing. Just a wild dream and a handful of musicians who trusted him. Andre took huge risks from day one. With no sponsors or government support, he poured every penny he made from ticket sales and albums right back into the orchestra. Today, running this massive operation cost him at least $1 million every month, without even counting touring expenses. That meant each performance had to sell out, and every album had to top charts. Otherwise, the whole thing would collapse overnight. Andre kept about 110 people permanently on his payroll, from musicians to lighting technicians and cooks, plus another 100 freelancers who handled logistics, travel, and marketing worldwide. It wasn't just a business, it was a family, his second family, one that traveled together around the globe, setting up and tearing down huge stage sets in arenas from Mexico City to Sydney. Each city required 9 enormous trucks packed with lights, costumes, instruments, props, and equipment. His crew worked non-stop, often building the stage from scratch at 7 a.m., then tearing it down right after the 3-hour show finished around midnight. Every performance felt like magic to the audience, but behind the scenes it was hard, disciplined work. Andre ran a tight ship, no rock star antics allowed. Forget wild parties. His team traveled with their own chefs to eat healthy meals, and Andre himself took naps before each concert to keep fresh. He knew that one bad show, one tired night, could damage his reputation and cost millions. After every concert, Andre insisted on celebrating with his musicians, not wild champagne parties, just good wine and casual chats. This wasn't just business to Andre, it was his life's passion. This relentless work ethic paid off big time. Andre's album sales were incredible, even in an era of streaming and digital music. His label, Universal Music, had been working with him for over 2 decades, and the partnership produced staggering results. In 20 years, Andre sold more than 40 million albums worldwide, numbers usually reserved for pop stars, not violinists. And despite predictions that DVDs were dead, André's fans still bought millions of them each year, especially those filmed during his legendary Maastricht summer concerts. He filmed these performances each year, edited them carefully, and fans eagerly snapped them up, proving André's belief that his audience always preferred something real they could hold in their hands. André wasn't just a great musician. He was a master showman who understood exactly what his fans wanted. He regularly produced themed albums, like his famous movie themes collection that included massive hits such as My Heart Will Go On. André admitted he rarely composed original music, preferring to take classics people loved and rearrange them, adding his own personal twist. This formula never failed. Each album became a bestseller, fueling his empire and ensuring every musician and crew member got paid on time, every month. But success at this scale wasn't easy to maintain. André constantly faced enormous pressure to keep filling seats and selling records. Without donors or sponsors, every decision he made carried huge risks. He couldn't afford to slow down, even during a global pandemic. When concerts stopped, André switched gears, baking cakes for his neighbors and community, keeping his spirits high and staying connected. He used the downtime to plan even bigger projects, like his ambitious movie screenings celebrating his 75th birthday in 2025. Titled The Dream Continues, the event showcased never-before-seen performances from André's global tours, played in cinemas worldwide. This was a grand celebration of his life's incredible journey, from a kid dreaming in Maastricht to a global icon adored by millions. André never hid the secret behind his incredible rise: hard work, discipline, and taking risks nobody else dared. His Jewish father-in-law, Edgar Kochman, had influenced him deeply through his collection of 300 vinyl records, introducing André to music he'd never heard before. These records shaped his style, making his performances accessible to millions who never imagined they'd love classical music. Pieces like Hava Nagila, a Jewish klezmer tune, became massive hits in André's concerts. His performance of this classic on YouTube alone attracted over 14 million views. André played everywhere, even Israel, where he received standing ovations performing beloved local songs like Jerusalem of Gold. Despite all this success, André never lost sight of his roots. On his 75th birthday, he celebrated in style, throwing a giant boat party that sailed through his hometown of Maastricht, with his entire orchestra on board. Fans worldwide joined in through cinema screenings, experiencing iconic performances from decades of André's unforgettable shows. André built something nobody thought possible: a massive private orchestra, worldwide fame, and a fortune so large it made his family both proud and nervous.